In this presentation, we will discuss an ongoing project involving students of Portuguese as a foreign language in the US and students of English as a foreign language in Brazil. This project is a partnership between myself, Denise Osborne. I teach Portuguese at the University at Albany, State University of New York, and Nayara Salbego, who teaches English as a foreign language at the Federal Institute of Santa Catarina in Brazil. We will discuss our motivations for the project, the theoretical background, the steps involved in the project, including the presentation of some of our students' work and their feedback. Learning a foreign language is much more than learning how to conjugate verbs. It also includes the use of the language in cultural contexts. For instance, the use of the target language as learners interact with others in social practices. One question foreign language instructors might ask is, how can you help our students who are learning a target language in a foreign context achieve intercultural competence, since students most likely have limited exposure to the L2 input outside the classroom? The project we will present today was born from the need to provide our learners opportunities for developing their intercultural competence through interactions with native speakers of the target language. It involves students in the US who are learning Portuguese as a foreign language and students in Brazil who are learning English as a foreign language. The general goal of this project is to help students develop their intercultural communication by understanding and appreciating aspects of the target culture as well as aspects of their own culture. Students create videos focusing on cultural aspects of their everyday lives and narrating them in the target language. These videos are exchanged among students between these two countries, and they provide feedback in the target language to each other. In addition, responsibilities regarding assessment are shared among students, and at the end, students answer a survey about their perception of the project. Intercultural competence is an essential part of the student's success in L2 learning. In this study, we follow the framework of Byram, who provides us with the most well-known model for intercultural competence. According to Byram's model, the main components of intercultural competence are attitudes, knowledge, and skills. Attitudes involves to be open to a new cultural experience without judgment and with respect, not assuming that their own values, beliefs, and behaviors are the only possible and correct ones. Knowledge involves knowledge of the culture of the other and of one's own culture, knowledge of the processes of interaction in an individual level. Skills involves the ability to interpret events in another culture, ability to interact in a cultural practice, ability to relate a cultural practice or event from another culture to one's culture. In this project, we focus on the multimodal approaches of learning intercultural competence. Different disciplines have divided the culture into different types. In this project, we follow Seeley, who divided culture in two types, Big C and Little C. Big C is the objective culture. It includes our knowledge of the arts, such as opera, literature, music, architecture, etc., and historical facts. The L2 learner can learn about these cultural aspects in books, visiting museums, or doing research. For example, Carnival and Capoeira in Brazil, and the celebrations of 4th of July and Halloween in the United States. On the other hand, Little C refers to the knowledge shared by a group. It can be a behavior or a set of beliefs that are typical of a group or society. It is related to customs, norms, values, assumptions, communication styles, and the like. These shared knowledge many times are not obvious, they are hidden, and many times unconscious. Therefore, these aspects of the culture are more subjective. For example, clapping your hands in front of a house in Brazil means that you are calling someone in the house. Beating around the bush when refusing invitations shows politeness in Brazil, while most Americans prefer to be direct. Since it is more challenging for L2 students to learn aspects of the Little C, we decided to focus the project on these cultural aspects that are less obvious. Why should we care? If L2 learners do not have any knowledge of these more subjective cultural aspects in L2, problems and misunderstanding may occur when interacting with native speakers. For instance, since assumptions, values, styles are many times unconscious, L2 learners may assume that everyone shares the same assumptions, values, or styles that they have. By presenting this project, we hope to contribute to the challenging of applying multimodal pedagogies to the teaching and learning of intercultural competence in foreign language contexts in which L2 learners are exposed to limited L2 input. The general goal of this project is to promote opportunities of intercultural exploration by learning and sharing cultural aspects of the Little C among L2 learners and native speakers through multimodal affordances. This project also aims to provide learners with opportunities for the use of multimodality as affordances in a foreign language, opportunities for authenticity and autonomy, which gives L2 learners a sense of ownership, the use of creativity and imagination as a way for L2 learners self-express in the target language, collaborative authorship and participatory learning, shared responsibility, including assessment and evaluation, opportunities for improvisation, intercultural awareness, and increased self-confidence when producing the target language.
So now I'm going to focus on the more practical part of our project. I'm going to talk about the participants, the phases of the project, and I'm going to show some examples of the students' production. As participants, we had 15 students of Portuguese in the United States who were in the second semester of their undergrad program at the University at Albany, SUNY, and in Brazil we had 35 students of English as a foreign language from the Federal Institute of Santa Catarina in the south of Brazil. Based on Willis, our project was organized in 3 important phases: the pre-task, the task, and the post-task one, which will be explained in the following slides. In the initial phase, the pre-task one, students brainstormed ideas, planned, wrote the script, and rehearsed what they were going to say in the video. In the task phase, we had the filming and the editing of the final version of the video, and in the post-task phase, we had the video presentations, exchange with the other students in the different countries, feedback, and a survey about the project. In the initial phase of the project, we brainstormed ideas and discussed with the students what they would like to present in their videos. We also talked about the equipment and software necessary, the group formation, and all the steps to be followed. The most important part was the script, in which the students were writing and organizing their texts, and also reviewing what they were going to record in the video production. In the task phase, students filmed and edited the video. Students were encouraged to add sound effects, image effects. They could also choose if they were going to appear in the video or if they were going to use images representing the topic that they were presenting. In the post-task phase, videos were exchanged. We watched the videos in class, discussed about the topics, and reflected about what was presented in each one of the videos. After, we provided a link to all the students with the videos in which they could watch them again and provide their individual feedback. Students also responded a survey about the project as a whole and their participation in this type of activity. What's very important in this phase was the assessment, the type of assessment that students participated, in which they had discussions and reflections. They gave and received feedback not only from the teacher but also from their peers, from the other students in the other country, and they evaluated the project as a whole and self-evaluated themselves. So this is a meaningful type of assessment. Here you can see the way students visualized the videos in order to provide feedback. We had the first part, which were closed questions, and then we added a box for comments or extra questions that they would like to talk about in relation to each specific video. Among the topics selected, we had university in the United States, holidays in Brazil, food, music, and we also had something more specific such as mac and cheese, as the one you can see on the screen. Here we have samples of students' feedback in which they comment cultural aspects such as clapping hands in front of a house instead of ringing the bell, which is very common in Brazil. Also the fact that Brazilians eat sweet avocado and sweet pizza. So these aspects called students' attention, and they commented that in the videos produced by the Brazilian students. We also have here some samples of students' feedback provided by the Brazilian students, in which they congratulate their peers and also provide suggestions in terms of vocabulary and such. We've selected 2 samples of students' videos to show in this presentation, but you can see all of the videos on the Facebook page called Intercultural Language Learning. We will leave you with the videos now. We really hope you enjoy them.
Olá pessoal, meu nome é Juan.
E meu nome é Mitch.
Hoje vamos falar sobre as novas danças americanas e música americanas. E não estamos falando da Katy Perry ou Lady Gaga.
Estamos falando de música hip hop. Aqui nos Estados Unidos, os jovens gostam de ouvir esse tipo de música não só em festas, mas também recitando, dirigindo, relaxando e fazendo outras coisas.
A cultura hip hop se tornou popular nos Estados Unidos na década de 1970 com os afro-americanos, mas agora é adotada por todo tipo de adolescentes, mas há muitos artistas diferentes que vimos.
Alguns deles são Future, Drake, Designer, A$AP Rocky, Kanye West, Migos, Rihanna, etc. Hip hop também criou estilos de danças diferentes ao longo dos anos. Alguns deles são
Watch me whip, kill it. Now watch me nae nae. Okay. Now watch me whip, whip. Watch me nae nae. Why me do it? Now watch me whip, kill it. Watch me nae.
Obrigado por ver. Esperamos que vocês aprendessem novas coisas. Que tipos de danças vocês têm?
Pizza in Brazil is eaten with knife and fork. This habit is very rude in the USA because they use hands to eat.
We also put mayonnaise and mustard in our pizza. And here we have many flavors of sweetie pizza, as ice cream pizza, chocolate pizza, banana and cinnamon pizza, and many others.
Thank you for watching. We are looking forward to hearing and answering your comments and questions for this online presentation. We also would like to reinforce the invitation to visit our Facebook page, in which you can watch all the videos produced by the students. The page is Intercultural Language Learning. Thank you very much.